previous video, we have looked at the most basic content of the Art Therapy Handbook in the field of art therapy. Starting today, I will lead you guys to dissect Ken Wilber's integrative psychology and go through the key information in it, hoping to let you understand this professional knowledge more quickly. Today, I will bring in a detailed summary and a summary of the Introduction to Integrative Psychology, focusing on the integrative psychology model and its core concepts proposed by the author. Firstly, I will start with the background and core issue, and then I will talk about the multiple dimensions of consciousness development and the significance of the integration model. Wilber points out that contemporary discussions about the nature of consciousness often face the hard problem: how to explain subjective experience and conscious phenomena at the neuroscientific and material levels. Relying solely on the brain or physical process does not seem to be able to fully encompass the inner experience of the individual. He argues that the mind dimension needs to be incorporated into a broader integrated perspectives in order to understand consciousness more fully. In order to explore the full picture of consciousness, Wilber proposed a full spectrum or integration model, which integrates multiple perspectives such as East and West, tradition and modernity, in an attempt to provide a meta template for the development of consciousness. In this framework, both the body-brain and the mind level are integrated into the same whole, avoiding the emphasis on one and ignoring the others. Wilber's integration model asserts that the growth and development of human consciousness is not a single linear, but can be examined from multiple dimensions. These include waves and levels, lines and strengths, states and cells. Together, these four aspects form Wilber's comprehensive picture of consciousness and mental development. First of all, let's talk about the waves and levels. The concept of hierarchy was proposed. Wilber draws on a variety of traditional, such as the Great Chain of Being and model studies, developmental psychology, transpersonal psychology, to argue that consciousness has a series of levels from simple to complex, from limited to more integrative. These levels are called waves, and they are not completely discrete phrases, but continuous waves. Each higher stage expands and transcends while retaining the elements of the previous stage. Wilber cites research on different levels of the subconscious, self-conscious, superconscious, from the most basic perceptual awareness to the higher levels of spiritual awareness. Each level represents a different mode of cognition or existence. These hierarchies are not just personal, but also cultural, social, and transpersonal. Now let's move to streams or domains, which means the lines and strings. Wilber mentions that the development of human consciousness not only shows hierarchical fluctuation at the overall level, but also develops separately in different functions of fields. For example, cognitive development, emotional development, moral development, social development, aesthetic development, and spiritual development. These streams or lines are similar to Howard Gardner's concept of multiple intelligence, where abilities and tendencies of different dimensions can grow relatively independently. To the phenomenon of uneven development, because different lines can diverge from each other or be relatively independent of each other. A person may reach a relatively advanced stage at the cognitive level, but remain at a lower level at the emotional or moral level. Wilber's model encouraged a balanced consideration of the development of these different domains, rather than focusing on a single intelligence or a single awareness. Now let's move to the states. The diversity of states of consciousness. States is different from level in that it emphasizes the way consciousness is experienced at a certain time or situation. For example, wakefulness, dreaming, deep sleep, meditation, religious or spiritual experiences. People can go through different states in a short period of time, and these states do not necessarily correspond to a fixed stage or level. Some temporary or peak experience may temporarily allow a person to reach a higher level of consciousness, but do not represent a steady progression to that level. Different states can lead to breakthrough experiences and may contribute to the development of an overall level of consciousness, but they are not the same. About the self. The self is a center in Wilber's model, and it expands the boundaries of its identity as it moves up the hierarchy between different states, different lines, and different levels. The ego is responsible for coordinating, selecting, and integrating, helping individuals from a unified and coherent me feeling. When the ego reaches a certain stage of development, it may be connected to a broader being or a transpersonal level. In some religious or spiritual traditions, the ultimate goal is to transcend the narrow selves and merge with the whole or source, which also embodies that Wilber's calls the logic of transcendence and containment. Now let's talk about the significance of the integration model. Wilber's emphasized that we cannot measure the development of consciousness by a single standard, nor can we look only at brain science or only at subjective experiences. Only by combining the four of waves, flows, states, and self can we truly understand and grow of the individual, the progress of society, and the evaluation of culture. Integrative psychology hopes to bridge the dichotomy and unify the research results of different disciplines and traditions into a more inclusive framework. It does not deny the importance of brain science, nor does it exclude subjective or spiritual inquiry, but attempts to blend at a higher level. For individuals, understanding their multiple lines of development and different states of consciousness can help us to carry out self-growth and mental health practice in a more targeted manner. For society and culture, these full spectrum perspectives can promote interdisciplinary and cross-cultural dialogue, providing integrated ideas for education, therapy, organizational development, interfaith communication, and other fields. Wilber's wave lines, states, and self. Wave strings, states, and self is his epitome of the integration of consciousness, psychology, and spiritual development. The model draws on both modern Western psychology, for example, the developmental psychology, multiple intelligence theory, and Eastern concept of mind-body practice, and spiritually, by combining through the four aspects of hierarchy, domain, state, and self. Strengths, state, and self. Wilber's provides a panoramic framework for contemporary discussions on the nature of consciousness and human potential, trying to transcend on one sidedness of the past and build bridge between body, heart, science, humanities, and individual society. This integrative psychological model calls on readers to understand the process of human consciousness and development from a broader, more systematic perspective, respecting both empirical science and openness to inner experiences and spiritual inquiry. For individuals, the Integrative perspectives helps readers understand themselves more fully. It also offers new possibilities for mutual understanding and cooperation both society and culturally. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.